Yo, what's up? Um, so I want to talk about labels today. I was talking to my friend about exactly like why people shouldn't label themselves. Why labels are so strong and so limiting, and why people should start seeing the world not in terms of labels, but more so in terms of a place of exploration and looking at it with an eye of curiosity. So, to begin with, I don't think people should label themselves a certain thing. So, for example, um, sometimes people just tell others, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm an engineer," or "Oh yeah, I'm an artist," and then people just assume a variety of things just from like this label, this umbrella of of that people have just decided is what it is, you know. And I don't think that's the way to approach it. I don't think that's the way to approach life, because the moment you start putting labels on something is the moment you start limiting yourself. Especially when you start putting labels on yourself, like saying that, oh, I'm worthless, or oh, I'm not good enough, or these labels are just are they stick with us, and we behave according to the things that we put on ourselves and other people. And so the moment you tell somebody that you're a certain way, is the moment that people expect you to act that certain way. And whenever you go against that, then you are supposed to feel bad because your idea of who you are does not go in line with what other people's ideas are about you. So I want to start, uh, like for me, for example, there's been times when like people ask me, so like what's your deal? Like, are you like a hippie, or are you just like so I don't know, like people ask me like what is your deal? Like they don't, because nobody can figure out exactly like what I'm about, or like why, like what I'm trying to do with my life, or like it's because I don't put a label on myself. Like I don't act the way that certain vegetarians do. I don't act the way that certain hippies do. I don't act the way that certain like creative thinkers do. I am not a result of the labels that are surrounding me, that are just floating around me. I'm not the result of that. The thing is, I choose to act a certain way, and people label it that way, but I never take the label to heart, you know. And that's what I want people to think of, is like you take what works for you and then you make something out of it. And that's what like Bruce Lee emphasized this in his martial arts teaching. It was there's no one way of fighting that is the best of all of them. He would emphasize that people become students and learn from all disciplines, all different kinds of fights, and take whatever worked for them, and then express that in their own fighting. And he never labeled his fighting. He just, I think he it was like some, what he called it was something weird. It was just something like that had like no significance, and it only had significance to him. And even then, it was something that was very general. And so, and the fact that Bruce Lee thought like this was the reason why people were so intrigued by him. They were so, why he came to be one of like the greatest, most inspirational martial artists of all time. And that's what people should start. That's how people should start thinking. Like, instead of seeing the world as this label, as like a world of labels, they start questioning what those labels mean and what exactly it means to them and what it means to other people. Instead of just uh, going straight to oh, um, this person is a vegetarian, so I haven't figured it out. I already know how they're gonna act. I already know how they're gonna behave. I already know what they're about. I already know so many things about them just from this one thing. And that's not the case. There's like, people are just so complicated, and so there's supposed to be so this is like, people are supposed to be a constant question to everybody else. People are supposed to be surprising. They're supposed to be intriguing. They're supposed to be mysterious. And the moment that they lose this is the moment that conformity comes in, and people lose sight of exactly what it means to live. So Um, so like it comes like this, and my friend gave me this example. He said, it's like you're in a room and you're a baby and you can't even talk, and like you're just in a plain white room, and then and like out of nowhere this bird just comes flying in, and the baby's like going wild, like, oh my god, what is this? Like, well, it's like so beautiful. It's like majestic. It's like magical. It like flies. It does all these things, and then like the parents come in and they're like, oh, that's just a bird, and then that label stays ingrained in this child's head, and that whole all of that moment where they had all this like curiosity and this awe for this bird, it disappears, and so every time they see a bird, they just call it a bird, and they don't connect with it on a more deeper level than just the superficial label that people have given it. That's why people like bird enthusiasts. I don't know what they're called. I'm pretty sure there's a name for it. Um, I forgot, but there's like people who spend their whole life just studying birds. They take pictures. They study their behavior. They follow their nest, how they create all their lives and everything. And people find this weird, but it's not. This is just this eye for nature or for curiosity. It's in everybody. It's just that we lost it because of our dependence on creating labels of this necessity of like feeling secure about ourselves, about the world. Like we're afraid to go outside of that label. We're afraid to go outside of whatever people think we are because we're afraid that we're gonna get backlash or people are gonna think of us as weird. And I say that you should start looking at the world as more magical because that's actually how it is. The world is magical, and it's only bland because we're living by labels. It's only bland because the moment we see something beautiful, we come up with this idea, and it seems so great. It's so intriguing to us. Somebody comes by and says, "Oh, that's just this," That's just self-fulfilling prophecy. So it has no other significance. There's nothing to it. It's already something that somebody has come up with, so it doesn't mean anything. And and then that kills it. That kills that curiosity. It kills that spark, and it's just something that I don't like seeing. And every time I come to like that conflict where people call something that like I'm pointing towards something beautiful. I'm talking about, oh, like look at the way this like artist like there's like something in there. This guy is actually onto something. The moment I start talking like that, people go away. They get afraid. They don't want to talk about this shit. And the ones who stay are the ones who like I actually connect with because these people understand. They understand that there's layers to everything. There's layers to the human mind. There's layers to nature. There's layers to these labels that people create, and so um I just want to go into the situation where it happened, where it's like the self-fulfilling prophecy. Just as a side note, it's like I was talking about how people usually, those who like have this intention of creating this world for themselves, and they go out and do it, and they accomplish so many things, and then they come back and say, "You can do it too." I did it. I just put my mind to it, and I accomplished it. Like I was talking about that to my friend, and he told me, "Oh, that's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like you didn't really create your reality. It was more like it's just like you thought you did by this sort of illusion that you created that is called the self-fulfilling prophecy. Like everything supposedly fell into place, and you just saw it as something that was like magical, but in reality, it's just the self-fulfilling prophecy." And and I thought, well, like the self-fulfilling prophecy is the magic itself. Like the fact that you put out in this intention in this world and you went out there and put in work and you created this reality, this space, this environment that you had always dreamed of. That's was magic. That's where you created something for yourself. And even though there's a label attached to it, it doesn't take anything out of anything like magical out of it. It doesn't take anything inspirational out of it. The label is just the superficial. Just dig deeper and you're gonna realize exactly what's there, what's of value, and what you can take for yourself. So this is me just talk. I just want you guys to start questioning exactly like like where the layers can be found, like what, like when people tell you something like about their beliefs or whatever, like do like what do they believe in or whatever, just go deeper. What do you believe in? Like what exactly do you care about? Why do you believe it? Like this label of like, oh, I'm Christian. What does that mean? Believe that? What does that label mean to you? And is it something that you need to be carrying around, or is there like other aspects that you want to integrate into your own personality and your own self to become this other person that is above? It's above just this label. It's more than that. It's like people ask me whether I'm Christian or not, and I'm like, I carry this cross, but that's not me. It's just a part of me. It's just a story. It's like I grew up with a Catholic family, but I'm not Catholic. I have certain Catholic beliefs. I understand the Catholic language, but that doesn't make me who I am. What I believe is irrelevant. It's in my actions that you'll see exactly what I am instead of what I say, you know? So if you want to be if you want to be intrigued by life, you want to keep exploring, you want to keep feeling like every moment is a new moment, that every moment brings something beautiful with it, then you have to stay open to this idea that nothing is ever for sure. Like, not the only thing for sure is your own actions and your own thoughts. So you just need to start breaking all these labels. Cut yourself off from all these labels that you have, all these beliefs that you have, and then you'll start thinking for yourself, and then the world will become more magical for you, and then in turn you'll be magical also. You'll see like your own essence, your own divinity. Once you're able to see it in the world, it becomes a reflection towards you, and you'll realize the connection that you have with the outer, and you'll make that connection with your inner world, and then that's where great things happen. So appreciate you guys staying in, watching this 12-minute, 13-minute video. If you guys stayed all the way, I appreciate it. I hope to keep talking more in the future. So yeah, peace out.